Hello. Our presentation is on mental health in the tech industry. We'll be considering how tech employees feel when they have mental illness and how they're treated in their workplaces. This project aims to analyze and visualize survey data from workers in the tech industry. Depression and mental illness make it difficult for employees to function in the workplace, especially when they work alone and stationary at their desks. The National Alliance on Mental Illness released statistics regarding mental health in the U.S. 1 in 5 suffer from mental illness, and most likely it starts before they reach 25 years of age. As they enter a new workplace, those suffering from mental illness have a greater challenge integrating. Over 18% of the U.S. population suffer from anxiety, 7% from depression. 1/4 are homeless, and many have addiction problems. Furthermore, there's $193 billion of lost earnings due to mental illness disabilities. Mental illness is a global problem. In Australia, 6% of compensation claims are due to mental disorders. 43% of these claims are caused by stress in the workplace, which can exacerbate existing mental illnesses. The Canadian Centre for Occupational Health and Safety made a list of ways employers can help. This includes concepts such as improving workplace processes and tasks, clarifying roles, prioritizing mental health, conflict resolution, and increasing dialogue. Furthermore, reducing the stigma of mental illness in the tech industry is important. So we're analyzing the response and support provided by employers as well as coworkers to see what kinds of changes need to be made. Our dataset comes from a survey conducted by OSMI, which measures attitudes towards mental health in the tech workplace. Our visualizations show that 20% are suffering, but a large percentage feel uncertain about their employees' attitude about mental health. Over 60% are unaware of their coverage options, and over 60% don't want to disclose that they have a mental illness. Through the analysis of this data, we hope to raise awareness and improve conditions for those with mental health disorders in the IT workplace. OSMI's existing visualizations consist of bar graphs displaying a total count of answers for each survey question. Although these graphs are useful for initial analysis, they fail to compare different questions to seek possible correlations. These are other visualizations made by OSMI. The figures in the table are similar to those in the pie chart. Furthermore, if you look at the pie chart at the very bottom, it's hard to distinguish different countries from each other. This is a Kaggle submission of OSMI data. The graph conveys a relationship and interdependence between features in a single visualization. However, the different shapes make it look like different information is being conveyed when in actuality it is the same. Our research questions included the following. What's the attitude towards mental health, and do employees truly feel uncomfortable? We also want to look at numbers. How many have depression? How many have health coverage? Also, are workers' productivity affected by their mental illness? Also, do those suffering from mental illness feel that their job is in danger? Are they aware of the benefits they could be receiving to help them through this? Do employers and coworkers treat workers with respect and support? Through the use of Tableau, we were able to create a geographic visualization, which was able to make a choropath showing the number of participants in each country. The US had the most participants, followed by the UK and then Canada. We then broke down the number of participants in each state in the US. The distribution is fairly even spread, with the exception of states like California, where the Silicon Valley would have a significant number of tech professionals. We continued our research by creating a visualization of different countries to see how they compared with the US. In the UK, 64 out of 183 respondents claimed having a mental disorder. In Germany, it was 11 out of 58. Looking at the United States, 398 out of 851 respondents agreed to having some sort of mental disorder. This is the highest proportional percentage suffering from mental illness in regards to this tech survey. By combining various survey answers, we can gain improved insights. The questions listed were the ones we chose, and when selecting one feature, it applied a filter to all the other features. In Tableau, we created a visualization for those who said yes, they currently have a mental disorder. These responders have a family history of mental illness they know of helpful resources, and do not feel that coworkers would suffer negative consequences for having mental illness. Of those who said no, they currently do not have a mental disorder. They did not have a family history of mental illness, showing these variables are correlated. They do not feel that coworkers would face negative consequences for having mental illness, but believe having a mental disorder would negatively impact their own career. Those who said they might currently have a mental disorder are unsure of whether they're mentally ill or not. Their answers reflect this with varied output regarding family history of mental illness, and although they do not feel that there are negative consequences for coworkers, they feel that it would hurt their own career growth to be mentally ill. To start the analysis, we completed a breakdown of different sized businesses that the respondents were part of. The pie chart shows a breakdown of the numbers of employees in the company. We can see that there's quite a dispersion of employees and almost equal distribution of groupings. Our visualization of the number of people suffering from mental illness show that 79% that they are suffering or might be. Though a larger number of men identified having a mental illness, a higher proportion of women stated that they have mental illness. The violin plots show that the common age for mental health disorders is age 30. However, the plots match the general distribution of all the respondents. There does not appear to be an age more likely to have a mental health disorder, and there is a similar distribution between genders. 29% were afraid to reveal their mental health disorder to a client because they were worried it would negatively impact them. In addition, another 15% did not feel that it was important. Combined, 44% would not reveal their mental health disorders to clients. Many believe that they would hurt their career if identified with a mental health disorder. In fact, combined, those who said, yes, it has, yes, I think it would, and maybe, makes up approximately 85% of the total. This shows a clear stigma in the industry. When examining attitudes towards mental health, one question showed that 29% were not comfortable disclosing their mental illness due to perceived negative attitudes, while 20% were open to the possibility of sharing. Though there may be a stigma, the good news is that the analysis of individuals who previously revealed their disorder showed that very few could see a conclusive effect on their career. Most were unsure whether it had any effect at all. Furthermore, we took a look at the information to determine whether there's a difference in this perception by gender. We found that there were approximately equal percentages of respondents who felt that it would or would not impact their career. We found in our analysis that 83% of respondents were unsure if their productivity was affected by their mental illness. It seems to be a concern because it's hard to understand the need for help if you don't understand the effect that it is having on you. Of those who responded that their productivity was affected, 45% believed it affected up to 25% of their working time, 35% believed it affected them 26 to 50% of the time, and the remainder believed it affected them 50 to 100. The results we found were that many people in the industry either did not have or were not aware of whether they had mental health coverage. We see that 46.8% of the respondents say that they had mental coverage, while 27.5% did not know. We looked at the number of respondents who were aware of mental health resources available to them. We found that a majority of the respondents were at least aware of some resources. However, a large number were not aware, and this should be addressed by the industry. We also took a look at the breakdown of respondents on whether they believe their employer treats mental health the same as physical health. 50% said they don't know, and the remaining 50 were split 25 and 25, saying yes and no. We discovered that one of the reasons employees don't disclose their mental problems is due to a lack of anonymity. The survey suggests that over 50% of people are not sure if their anonymity would be protected. This can cause fear and prevent them from sharing. Our visualizations show that there is a difference in responses when accounting for gender. Women are more confident in their diagnoses of mental illness and are more aware of available resources. Having a clear picture of their illness may have an impact in the workplace. Many visualizations had uncertain responses, such as, I'm not sure, or maybe. A lack of clarity on how employees feel about mental illness and how it might hurt their career or productivity could indicate either a genuine lack of awareness or concern being judged. Furthermore, we hope to continue to look into how to reduce the stigma around mental illness by understanding how workers react due to this stigma. This might encourage workers to seek help and teach employers how to provide better support. Ultimately, we hope that this analysis will enable workers to understand that talking about their mental illness will not compromise their career and help employees provide an environment that allows all employees to perform at their very best with the help and resources that they need. Thank you.